Greetings and welcome back. I'm the Angrynator, and today we're going to look at Kiara the Brave.
Something I have wanted to do for quite some time actually. This movie is such a special thing. It tries to cash in on Disney, while having little to nothing to do with the actual story they tried to monetize on.
But that's rather normal, isn't it? And no, the strange part is, its original release in India had little to nothing to do with knocking off Disney.
Yep, that's right. In India it was actually called Super K and had zero to do with Disney's Brave. And some knucklehead in America thought, hey, Brave is a smash hit. Let's focus the movie on that red-haired girl. Anyway, it starts out by showing us different planets and they talk about, well...
Honestly, I really can't remember, other than the planets fight for supremacy or something like that.
But the sun comes up and tells us that Dream Zone is faring much better than the rest.
How many times do I have to tell you to be more like Dream Zone?
Also, before we move on, look at the credits.
Now let's look at the movie again.
And how can you say that, Arbit?
How is the credits better looking in the rest of the movie? It actually baffles me.
Anyway, it seems that this guy dressed as an orange Deadpool, I believe, is named Future and he's the son of Destiny.
I got no clue, and by the looks of it, neither does the movie. But one thing is for certain though, and that is, nobody likes this kid.
What? How did this toddler get in here?
Anyway, Destiny comes in to explain the bad situation that is happening in the Dream Zone.
Strange, I just got that sudden urge to play Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
That's no good.
Fine, whatever.
Also, the planet happens to notice that Destiny looks like an old witch in her flashback.
You sure looked different there, Destiny. Is that how bad Dreadmiss's Destiny looks?
Okay, a lot to go through here, people. First off, why can the others see her flashback? And second, she never explains why she is holding them, even though she states she's going to. And third, the voice actors just suck.
I can say no more. Then wait and watch.
So now we begin the story of Kiara the Brave and King Maximus.
I am Maximus Prime. You'll pay for impersonating me.
Dude, relax. It's just a shitty movie. And trust me when I say, you're not the only one they're ripping off.
One shall fall and one shall stand.
Oh, clever, the complete opposite of Optimus Prime. Now who's on original?
Well, anyway, it so happens that the King Maximus's brother, the evil Dreadmiss, wants to take over the world.
Of course!
And by doing so, he asked for the help of Destiny to create something called Super Cloud, spelled with a K if you were wondering. And while he's doing that, his two henchmen accidentally, no joke intended, spill some sort of liquid on the painting on the wall, destroying most of the formula that is supposed to create Super K.
And yes, let's talk about that name a bit later.
But it turns out it was a failure, since Dreadmiss have already seen the Powerpuff Girls and knows that no evil can come of creating kids in a cauldron.
So therefore he declares it a failure, and since it is a failure, they have to get rid of it. Since Destiny apparently said so.
Accidentally, suddenly, destroy him, immediately!
Well, accidentally and suddenly wants to throw the brat in an acid lake. Honestly, it would make a better movie.
2, 3,
But the goofball spits out diamonds and therefore they decide to keep him since, get this, the two henchmen also wants to be kings.
Yeah, the two henchmen believed this so much that they in fact thought that Dreadmiss was going through these extremes to crown one of them kings.
Well, nevertheless, they raise him up through a lot of care to make their plans blossom.
Nighty-night.
Morning!
Or they gave him steroids. I would believe that.
So he's not supposed to attend school, which is conveniently called Dream Zone High.
Excuse me, but I also have Sonic 3.
That's no good.
Yeah. Sorry. Moving on.
It appears he is not good at anything, and this is of course shown in the worst shot and angle position possible.
You see, you can only see the top of the classroom. In fact, you can only see the name on the door. Meaning, the rest, you kinda have to imagine for yourself. And this, of course, means that the creators can save a few extra bucks.
Anyway, he gets so down on his luck he decides to wander off into the not so dark part of the dream zone.
Sonic Adventure 2 Battle?
No good.
Okay, I'll stop.
Also, to talk about this, I believe the planets discussed how amazing and peaceful the dream zone was. Meaning, I don't know, why is there a dark part with a dark hole even? Yeah, we'll get to that now.
Dark holes in the dream zone equal tar pits. Hey, Sonic's world is pretty fucked up. It wouldn't surprise me.
So he accidentally falls in, and this Hydra being named...
Oh, come on, really? That is the dark hole? Man, fuck this shit.
Yummier than dong sauce, please. I don't much care for.
Where do you think we are? Kmart? Until Dr. Ozux has his day, make do with dung sauce. Now suck up!
Okay. They sing. Why? Who knows? And also, why do they sing so differently? It makes zero sense, man.
Well, Sir Merlin comes in to rescue, and of course his name is the Mesmerizer.
Why? Don't ask. How? Don't ask. This movie is as good as keeping one concept as a hyperactive chihuahua in a pet food store.
So he wants to keep the kids safe and talks about parents and stuff like that, but has to go because now the movie's main lead is taking the scene.
Is that all? Not quite what you wanted?
Actually, I don't quite know what I want.
Okay, Kiara is the princess. Similar to Brave. Really?
But Merlin, I mean Mesmerizer, mixes up the presents and instead of a pony, she gets Super K.
Is he my gift mesmerizer? Is he?
My goodness. I believe that slavery was not discontinued in Dream Zone.
Kiara, the slave trader.
But he performs magic tricks.
It's gone.
And they become friends.
Friend?
Yeah, that's about it.
Meanwhile, they do this accidentally, and the other calls for destiny since they have a fight of who's going to be king.
Future? Yo-ho! The future is right here! That was a call for destiny. Who are you? Yo, man! My name is Defender Jack.
Yep, he is in fact Jack Sparrow, calling himself Defender Jack for copyright reasons, of course. And if you're still unsure what they're trying to rip off with this, here's a scene that is definitely going to make you sure what they are ripping off.
Nobody? But who is nobody to the side?
Yeah, they actually did that. Why? Who cares?
And now we see other kids who dares each other to travel to the dark hole and pick up a flower, but having been there, Super K wants to stop them. They beat him up and flies off.
That should teach you not to interfere with your superiors. Let's go.
Apparently every Dreamsonian, yes, that is the actual name, and apparently all of them can fly.
So something goes wrong, and it is up to Super K and Kiara to help them out.
Okay, calm down. Just think of something else.
Kiara, the supporter.
So you might guess it goes wrong, but in the end, it works out.
Thanks, friend. Never mind how you did it, you saved us.
But to Super K's realization, the Mesmerizer is not happy since he stated that Super K never should have returned.
And I want to know why you dare disobey.
So if you like that scene in Man of Steel where Earth Dad said that maybe he should have let them die, here we get it 10 times worse, and also in shitty CG. A dream come true, people.
Meanwhile this is happening, Dreadmiss has joined forces with Earth's conqueror named Dr. Ozux.
What is this, Doctor?
Gifts. They're gifts.
Yeah, in this universe, Earth is lost to an evil doctor who's mind controlling his citizens. or something like that. It's hardly ever explained nor mentioned. The fact that he is from Earth is mentioned once. I'm not kidding you. Hell, even the Earth planet person seems to do just fine. What the fuck?
I've infected them with my tiny, insect-like viral warriors.
Anyway, it seems that Ozarks is planting the virus, let's just call it Ouroboros.
Since that is obviously what they ripped off.
And they decide to use this virus on the clouds of Dream Zone.
And no, clouds are not those white fluffy cotton candies you see in the sky. No. In the Dream Zone, clouds are the guardians of Maximus. Is it weird that this sounds like something Sonic could have used?
Anyway, the Mesmerizer is picking up evil on his evilometer, or whatever they called it. And it is up to Super K to get to the castle and save the king and princess. Which is Kiara, by the way.
In a blimp, no less. Why, oh why does a blimp exist in a world where everybody can fly? And if you take a closer look at it, it's actually slower. Yeah, even though they state it should be faster.
Well, never mind. We get to the castle to see the king is overrun by Ozark's forces as well as his own clouds. But Kiara there, not so brave, in fact, more dumb, tries to take them on.
And yes, people, this is in fact the only time in the entire movie you can sort of call it brave.
Kiara, the weird stiffly animated magic user.
So Maximus is kidnapped when Super K arrives and him and Kiara tries to figure out where they went.
Seriously? There's like 2 places in this world. The city and the dark side. Gee, I wonder where they could be.
They came here. I don't know who they were. And the royal guards weren't able to protect us.
Kiara, the scaredy cat.
So they get the information out of the guard who travels along with them in the blimp.
Yeah, he's never mentioned again, people. Nor did he actually do something.
While our heroes is on their way, Dreadmiss and Destiny talk, still no explanation as of why she's old and disgusting. In all honesty, I believe they created the movie with the mindset of the Dream Zone, but then realized they needed a few more minutes and then created the whole planets thing. And accidentally deleted the Destiny file.
Oh come on, people, with all of their forced microtransactions, who wouldn't delete it? Oh, yeah, right, we are talking about the character. And since they deleted the character, they had to make a new one. Or maybe they wanted her to be hot at the end, but forgot to put in the transition.
I can say no more. Then wait and watch.
Anyway, it seems that Destiny is not captured just pretending to be like so many other movies with powerful entities.
Only problem? They forgot to do something about it.
So it seems that Ozarks is going to betray Dreadmiss. Yep, another overly used cliché. And finally Kiara, Super K and the guard arrives only to see this.
Where is my father?
Kiara, the daddy's girl.
So Super K and... no, it's just Super K that tries to attack Ozarks while Kiara still screams and yells for her daddy. Ozarks manages to stop the assault, trap Dreadmiss and the rest, and is now off to rule over the dying city.
Yeah, when you're using the Ouroboros virus to rule people, you are doing something wrong.
I have Ouroboros.
Well, Super K and Kiara is now off to help the city by using Kid Power.
And no, this is in fact not made in the 90s, so Kid Power just sounds extra stupid.
And the kids in Super K fights the infected and the guards, meanwhile Mesmerizer is rounding up the remaining citizens to help him fight.
We have to work together to fight them.
But like true shitty movie style, the adults as idiots cannot fight whatsoever and the kids rule. Or some stupid shit like that. Seriously, seeing the Mesmerizer yelling Kid Power?
Kid Power?
It's just stupid. Funny though, but for the wrong reasons.
And this battle takes a lot of time actually, even resulting in them losing, then getting the advantage and so on and so forth. Until Dr. Ozarks apparently turns into a Japanese anime.
Kiara, the adult anime star.
But they of course beats the shit out of him and everybody is happy.
Well, that's an exaggeration, because everybody who actually saw this filth is certainly not happy.
So the planet more or less yucks it up and we now have the credits.
Super gay!
What?
Super gay!
Are you serious?
Super gay is what I am.
He's obviously singing super gay, not K. Someone took a huge shit on the Indian team who actually made this movie, and they just said, oh, we are actually singing K, you might not just be able to hear the difference, my friend.
And that is the movie. It feels like bad stop motion video while it is in fact CG. The movement is stiffer than a one-man team creating their first video game through the Unity engine. The voice actors didn't give a shit at all, and I breezed through the Indian version and even they sounded disinterested. There's really nothing redeeming about this. The songs, if you can actually call it that, is bad and makes no fucking sense. The entire story is full of loopholes and it is not very well structured. Why is Future popping up? We don't know. Why is Dreadmiss the rightful heir? We don't know. Why is the Ouroboros mentioned? We just don't know. The planet part and the Dream Zone part feels like two separate movies, and that might actually be the case. Hell, even Future looks slightly different in the two parts. Kiara has no role, she's a side character, and in the Indian version, she is just that. In India, the movie is called Super K, which makes more sense. It's just some knucklehead in the US who thought he could make a quick buck by calling it Kiara the Brave. But that's still no excuse for how terrible the movie is anyway. Even if they did call it Super K over here, it still would be bad. In all honesty, it feels like a very small team made this. And maybe it was. But seriously, it's still a bad movie nonetheless. Do not punish yourself by watching this.
So that was Kiara the Brave. More like Super K, as the singer said.
Super gay is what I am.
I'm the Angrynator terminating bad movies for your entertainment.